Peace, y'all. This is Empress Coach Rena Nicole of RenaNicole.com, Divine Intervention Show. And this is the one and only AM Inspiration Show to wake that ass up, streaming live on all networks, period. Yes, now today we are back in season 2, episode 2. Today the topic is, how do you show up in friendships? You know, we kicked off our friendship week yesterday, and we're going to continue on for the next 5 days on talking about the dynamics of friendships, how we show up in friendships, how to actually maintain and manage a friendship. So today, that's one of those topics we're going to get into, about maintaining friendships and how we show up in them, expectations, and all those other things. With that being said, listening to this drop, and we're going to hop right into that topic, period. Okay. Ooh, guys, yes. So, I just want to say welcome and peace to everyone that's here. And thanks for being here on the AM Inspiration Show to wake that ass up, right? So, you know, our general focus is waking you up consciously, spiritually, physically, emotionally, physically, financially, and soulfully. Yes. So, with that being said, today we're going to talk about how do you show up in friendships, you know, and that's never really a question that people even ask other people before they're like, this is my friend, you know, and we ended off yesterday talking about the difference between acquaintances and actual friends. You know, acquaintances aren't people that you literally call on when you're going through something, or somebody that you would talk to about something that's intimate and personal, something that you know hold secret to yourself. They're generally not those people, you know, so that's the difference, you know. Then we talked about part-time friends and different things of that nature, and people's standards around them. So that's where we're at right now in the conversation during Friendship Week, right? So the benefits of a friendship is, you know, that you can talk about like family friendships, you know, and it's like, okay, so what's the benefits of that, right? They can come with a dose of guilt and obligations, right? Now, when you have your friends that are not your family, right? It can be like an antidote to like your daily life, because sometimes people feel like, you know, oh, well, this is my family, so I'm obligated to, you know, be loyal to my family and do these things to my family. But when it's your friends, you're like, you know what? These people are my people that I chose myself. This is my family too, but I chose them for myself, right? Period. Okay. And it's that simple, you know. So when you think about like the research that's been done by the University of Virginia, they did a research on how to find out whether or not friendship influences how we approach our daily challenges in our existence. And it was a very, very unusual experiment, by the way, to say the least. And they had researchers at the base of a hill, like of a steep hill, on a 20-degree incline, right? And they asked 34 students as they walked up the hill to try to help them, you know, in an experiment. And the students themselves, they were walking in pairs. So each student was given a backpack filled with weights equal to 20% of their body weight, right? Imagine how heavy that would be, right? So while the students may have had an impression that they were going to have to climb the hill, the researcher simply asked them how steep the climb would be. So when they did this thing, the students they stood alone and perceived the hill slant as steeper than they thought it would be, right? And it'll be harder to climb while carrying the weighted pack. But students who were standing next to a friend thought the hill looked easier to climb, right? And gave lower estimates in steepness, right? So interestingly enough, right? Sorry for the stutter, guys. That the longer the two friends had known each other, the less steep the hill appeared. So basically, it's saying to you that, you know, when you are with a friend, the road don't seem that rough, because you know you have that support system, right? So that's basically what the study had proved, that when these other students were with a friend, you know, and they knew them longer, it seemed like the estimates for how high the climb would be was less, because they didn't see that much struggle in it, because they knew they had a support system with them. Period. Okay. So that's definitely That's amazing. One, that they did that experiment, because it's literally like showing you how you see life, how you go out in the world, and how you visualize life with a friend and without a friend, right? The people without a friend, they seen it as more taxing. Like the hill would be more taxing to climb. It would be, like more strenuous without a friend. And the people with friends, and the longer they knew them, seen that as less of a battle. Like they can do this. This is nothing, right? So there's a lot of so what do you think about that? I know we have Sierra here. What do you think about that story, the research study that I just told you about? What do you think about that? Is there any truth to it? Any merit to it? I don't know if anybody can hear me. I hope my volume is okay. Okay. Hi George, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, so yeah. Woo. So literally when you have health and relationships that are like focused on your intimate partner relationships, right? And friendship have a major impact on your health. And that's something that people don't ever talk about, right? There's so many studies that's done. Um, you have logistical support, and because friendships, you can run errands and pick up medicine for a sick person and different things like that. You can have so literally, let me tell you the things that it really relates to, right? So you have logistical support, you have association, you have less stress, and you have positive peer pressure, right? And then you have friendships make aging easier. Like you have even more healthier skin. You're not really having that more concerns because you're aging with other people. You're not aging alone. You're not doing this by yourself, and things of that nature. So that's what matters. And I really still find it extremely amazing that that experiment about how when you're going up a journey with a friend, the task doesn't seem that hard. When you're going at it alone, you see it as more taxing, and things of that nature. I thought that was pretty amazing, to me anyway. So it's just like literally you have to see things for what they are, and how to just really think about, like, listen, is life really this hard? Do I have to walk in this existence alone? um are there ways I can show up to my friends where I can get more support and I can be more supportive, things of that nature, right? So keep that in mind. I'm sorry guys, I'm having some technical, okay, I got it. I was having some technical not difficulties. Wow. So literally, like, so you asked, so let's get into more into the topic. So showing up for people, what does that mean? Showing up for someone is not really hard to describe, right? Because when you see it, you see it. When you realize it, you realize it. When you feel it, you feel it. Showing up for someone can be very subjective. So say for instance, if someone just simply was like, yo, I'm short on toilet paper, can you give me some toilet paper? And you just bring toilet paper to their house, you're showing up for them. It's nothing. You drop it off on the step, knock on the door, here you go. It's showing up for someone. Someone simply need to call you just so you can listen to them talk. That's showing up for someone. If you are a person that's dependable, that's showing up for someone. If you're a person that's respectable, and you value people and you're empathetic, that's showing up for someone. Okay, it's not something that you can buy at Walmart or Target, or anything like that. You can just be yourself and be authentic to who you are and show up for other people with that authenticity, right? Okay, period, right? So keep that in mind when you think about how you show up to how you're showing up in friendships and things of that nature. So people think that just showing up doesn't involve work. So that's the part where people get it a little messed up and twisted, because showing up requires emotional intelligence, intuition, empathy, generosity, confidence, and willingness to be vulnerable. Okay. It doesn't just happen overnight. It does take a level of intentionality, effort, and practice. You know me about the KPP, right? What's the KPP, Empress? Okay. I'm big on the KPP, right? So the KPP, which we went over in season 1 of the podcast, was gaining knowledge, right? Um, practicing what you gain knowledge on, and persevering through it to get the result. Hello? Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Mm-hmm. period. So when you're truly showing up for others, it requires you to do something that can be the most taxing thing in your life. What is that? Let's think about it. I need a moment. It's showing up for yourself, period. Okay? Showing up for yourself. You can't show up for nobody else if you're not going to show up for yourself, period, at all. You're never going to have that confidence in anyone else. You can't truly be supportive of someone else if you're not supportive of yourself, right? Because you're always going to have that nagging in the back of your head that, damn, I could have did this for me. Damn, I could have, showed up in this way for myself. I should have never procrastinated on this or that. You're always going to have those thoughts nagging in the back of your head when you're always constantly pouring out of your cup and depleting yourself for other people and not pouring back into your cup for yourself. Point blank, period. Okay? Now, that means really taking that time to get to know who you are, learning your core values, learning your standards, developing your standards and sticking to your boundaries, okay? So that also means taking care of your physical and mental health, being very nice to yourself, okay? Showing up for yourself is what will allow you to be a better and more present friend and partner. And it will definitely prevent resentment, one-sided relationships that relationships where you don't get reciprocity, okay? And burnout, hello? It will prevent what? Burnout. Is this thing on? Let me turn it up. Period, okay? Listen, now, getting to know yourself will help you figure out exactly what showing up for people should look like in practice. That's that KPP coming in again, okay? That gaining knowledge on what you need to do for yourself. Practicing showing up for yourself so you can show up for other people and persevering through all those experiences of showing up for yourself and other people, period. So you can grow and be your most optimal, self and be a friend to somebody. Because if you can't be a friend to yourself, you can't be a friend to nobody else. Hello? Period. And that's the problem. That's the problem right there. That's the problem, okay? Listen. That's definitely the problem. Most people can't be a friend to themselves and they walk around wanting to be friends to other people. So each time that we show up for someone, it's like we're turning on a single bulb in a strand of Christmas lights, and we have those moments where we'll make a grand enough gesture to light up several bulbs at one time. But literally, for the most part, showing up is best done, each experience by each experience, okay? And over time, you'll learn that you could turn on more bulbs with more experience, more knowledge, more practice, and more perseverance. It's not a thing where you can just walk outside and like, I'm showing up for the whole world, because you would just drop that right there. You would be energy depleted. You would be dehydrated. You would probably have seizures and convulsions. You would just completely drained. And for what, though? For what? Because you just went out and gave everything away and you saved nothing for self. So, without you, then who? Heidi, without you, then who? Dun, dun, dun. Okay? So, keep that in mind, right? Now, over time, when you do learn that that connectivity to all those bulbs that you have turned on that strand of lights, so when you gain all that experience, right, then you'll like, okay, well, know what? I have this interconnected energetic cord now. These energetic cords that glow brightly and they take me in paths, and I know my way back home. I know my way to my support system because it's lit up from all the relationships that I cultivated, all the places that I've shown up to, all the places where I use my integrity, where I use my emotional intelligence, where I use my empathy, where I was respectful, where I was patient, where I was loving, where I was nurturing. It all led me back to a place of support in the same exact thing. Hello? Is this thing on? Let me check. It's on. I'm trying to tell you, because when you are a firm believer in that the divinity and that divine power of showing up, you recognize that, hey, it's transformative, it's life-saving to have people show up for you, because sometimes you can't do it. You just can't do it. I don't care how powerful you are. As humans, we need those moments of like, you know what? I just need somebody to be there for me. Period. Okay? Listen, you can put together a synopsis of ways to show up for other people. You can put together different things where you're like, this is a list. This is the people that showed up for me. This is this and this is that. But if you are not putting in that work on yourself and cultivating relationships, putting that work in, people are not going to show up for you. And sometimes even when you do, you got to recognize who to show up for. That's the thing. You got to use your discernment, because all the time, your energy that you put out, you're not going to receive it back. Okay, you're not going to always receive that energy back. You're going to have people that love energy. You're going to have people that vamp your energy, energy vampires. You're going to have all those people that come in like, you know what, hey, I like this energy. Let me use it for as long as I can to make me feel good about myself. And when I'm done using this energy, I'm out. I'm not returning anything. I'm not doing anything. And that's when we go back to that reciprocity, right? We go back into that, we step into that reciprocity chamber, because it's like, it's not a demand. No, the reciprocity doesn't demand anything. Reciprocity says by energy that what I put into, I'm going to get back energetically. That's a affirmation to the universe. So if you're affirming these things and you notice that you're not getting these things back in these relationships or these friendships that you so-called are cultivating, it's time to fucking go. Period. Well, listen, there's no need to continue to pour into an empty cup. Some people don't have nothing in their cup, and the only thing they get in their cup is from what they get from you. So you got to stop. You have to stop pouring out. You have to stop pouring out into cups that are empty. They don't know how to fill up on their own. They don't know how to pour into other people. You can't continue to nurture, dead plants that won't revive themselves. Okay? You had to leave it up to those plants. They go to the plant doctor, get some different kind of soil, get some compost, get some fertilizer, and get their little plant life together. It's not up to you to sit back and destroy yourself for friendships that are not cultivating, that are counterproductive, that are not trajecting you into the best life possible, period, plain blank, okay? And if you have that relationship with yourself where you're not cultivating, you're not trajecting yourself into the best life possible, then you need to stop with your dead plant behind, sit down, change the soil, change, just reframing those thoughts that you have about yourself, reframing those thoughts, okay? Start telling yourself that you're beautiful, you're loving, you're powerful, start believing it, start changing that behavior, okay? And start showing up for yourself differently. So when you move in those crowds, when you move in those people, in those social circles, that you start getting different results. You start getting the results that you desire. You start getting the results that you actually deserve, because every being is divine, right? But if you're walking outside of your divineness, or your righteousness, you're walking outside of that divineness, right? Then how can you be upset when someone doesn't know how to cultivate a friendship with you? Hello? Listen, you had to keep these things in mind, right? Woo! So there's so many different ways you can show up as a friend. Nowadays, the world has changed so drastically. COVID came and went and wreaked havoc, and people are still recovering from these the havoc that COVID has on us. We're still recovering. We're still elevating beyond it. We're still moving past it, and we have to recognize that we're still moving beyond it. We're still moving past it, and that's just what it is, right? So keep that in mind, that when you are in that space, in that place of cultivation and showing up for other people, there is a few ways that we can do it nowadays. You can do like you can call them over the phone and be fully present. You can use Skype. You can use video calling, different things of that nature. When you're thinking about your excuse me, guys. Woo. When you think about your interpersonal relationships, that they have to have attention, care, energy, excuse me, but they're different, a little bit different than when you would have with your intimate partner relationships, right? So you're giving out the same kind of energy, but you're not giving it in the same kind of way, okay? So keep that in mind as much as you think about your partner, that you should have a part of your life that's still dedicated to your friendships and your non-intimate partner relationships, your interpersonal relationships as well, right? So you can also do calendars where you have where you have your friends' birthdays, and set reminders on your phone for that and different things of that nature, because you want to show up for them, you want to be present for them, and that's just something helpful to have. Like, you can remember your friend's birthday. Okay. So Other things that if you want to add to the calendar could be if they have children, their children's birthdays, their wedding anniversaries, if they're married, different things of that nature, just to let them know that you do love them, that you do care about them, that you do support them. These things are important to people, so keep that in mind, okay? So one of the best things you can do for friends is to figure out the best method of communication for both of y'all. And that's where a lot of friendships fail because a lot of people don't know how to communicate. They communicate on how they communicate, but they don't communicate how other people need to learn how to communicate. Say, for instance, if someone is not a talker, but they think that you feel secure in a friendship with them, but you're a communicator, and they don't understand that you don't feel secure in their friendship with them because they don't talk much. They don't, they don't say anything to you to solidify that. So you have to understand that some people are terrible at texting. Some people love to call. Some people love to text. Some people hate to call. So you got to find that balance within your friendships on how you communicate. Okay. Some people don't like phones at all. They just like to meet up in person. So, even then you have to put some space into your existence to make time for that. Right. Now it's as simple as acknowledging the low hanging fruit and just checking in with each other regularly. And we talked about this yesterday. Some people say, if I see my friend on, like, if you see those friends on Facebook and you just, get them a like or something, some people are completely okay with that. They consider that them checking in on their friends and them being a part of their friend's life. And they're completely okay with that bare minimum friendship. And that's okay. But some people are not okay with that. Like me, I'm okay with it, but I don't really consider that, unless it's my friends that's out of state or something like that, then I consider it that way. But if they're my friends that's in state and they make absolutely no effort to be like a part of my life and I'm making no effort to be a part of their life, at this point, they're just an acquaintance to me. I don't feel like that you can garner everything on the past, what you've been with someone, when you remaining present. Things change, people change, life changes. No hard feelings, right? Period. It doesn't have to be hard feelings. It could just be like, okay, we outgrew each other, you know? You don't always have to use those words like this is my friend, this is, this is this and this and this is that. You can just say, okay, we knew each other, we had a lot of experience together, we had a lot of fun together, we had a great friendship in the past. Life changed for us. And it's not saying that you don't love anyone, you don't support them, but it is acknowledging that you're in a different space in your life, and you cultivate your relationships differently, and you want different things from your life. You like consistency, and that's okay. Because nowadays people will shame you for saying that you want to talk. You like having consistency with your friendships and different things of that nature. You like to talk to your friends, maybe every other day or something of that nature, every week. Because everybody's fake busy nowadays. Everybody's super duper fake busy. And it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure that you're letting your standards be known when you're building friendships or when you're still maintaining your friendships. That, hey, I don't feel like we are really close as we used to be. Using that communication and how you show up with people. And they might tell you, hey, I got a job, or my family, it just doesn't give me enough time to be, as present as I was, but I will make an effort, if you want to, that we can link up sometime and have some some meet up time with each other and hang out, because you can't be upset if someone has a family or child, you a family or a relationship, and you're not speaking up. You're just like, oh, they have a relationship, I don't matter anymore. That's not the truth. You had to let people know, like, hey, just because you marry or have a friendship doesn't mean I want our friendship to end. And I think a lot of people get delusional behind that fact. They think that when they get a relationship, they lose everything in their life just for that relationship. Relationships are supposed to add to your life, okay? They're not supposed to take away, period. And that's something that we consistently speak on, that relationships are supposed to add to your life and they don't take away from your life, point blank, period. Yeah, so this topic was good. It was quick. It was fast. And I'm just happy that we got a chance to cover how you show up in friendships, because a lot of people do not even realize how they show up in friendships. Some people show up in friendships in ways that are like really derogatory, really selfish, a little narcissistic, a little sycophantish. And they wonder why they're like brushed off or pushed to the side for other people, or people just rather be by themselves than be bothered with them, because they're not showing up in conducive ways for anyone to grow. They're not making that room. They're not very welcoming to other people's friends. They're not very welcoming to, changing or communicating differently to get different results or things like that. And that's unfortunate, but it's the truth. Period. It's definitely the truth. With that being said, though, learning how to maintain friendships and learning how to show up in them is extremely imperative to have anything healthy in your existence. Now, with that being said, I am your host, Coach Empress Rena Nicole of RenaNicole.com, Divine Intervention Show and Podcast, The Love Experiences, and TheCurve.net. With that being said, this has been the AM Inspiration Show to Wake That Ass Up, streaming live on all platforms. You definitely can reach us on every single platform. Look us up on RenaNicole.com/podcast, period. Okay? Now, with that being said, I definitely will catch y'all tomorrow for episode 3 in season 2. 7 days a week, 365, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. Peace, y'all.